Hey there folks, John here with Through My Lens, and today I'm coming to you with an unboxing and first impressions video on the SIG Sauer P365 XL. Now, I've never really done a first impressions kind of video or an unboxing. They seem to be pretty popular, so I thought I'd give it a try and see what the reactions were out in the community. So if this is something you'd like and you'd like to see more of, please do let me know in the comments section what you think of this first effort in an unboxing and first impressions video. So here we have the box of the SIG P365 XL. I've only had it for a few hours. I got it from my local gun store today. And so let's go ahead and pop open the box. This is the new box from SIG Sauer. It's their new design language, so to speak, for their boxes. And yeah, it's okay. It seems to be Legion Gray, and I don't really care for Legion Gray. There, I said it. No, I would prefer just black, but it's okay otherwise. Pop it open. Got that shiny brand new gun inside. Take the gun out. We've got some packaging. We've got spare magazine. Some documentation, sticker, all pretty standard stuff, some advertisements. One thing I did notice is that this is the old, I say old, it's from last year. The P365 was a new model last year. This is the old P365 model, or manual. There's no mention of the P365 XL on the cover or on the interior of the instructions. Now, that's not a huge deal. I consider it kind of a faux pas. If I were, Joe Six-Pack customer and I open this up, because I wouldn't know any better, I might think that they put the wrong manual in the box. In reality, the 365 and the 365 XL are mechanically identical, and the vast majority of the operating instructions for this manual will be applicable, but the one area that is different, which is the removable rear sight, where you can put an optic where the rear sight was, that is different between the two models, and there's no mention of that in the instructions. They didn't really even put an insert. So I didn't think that was all that great on the part of SIG. But not a huge deal. So there's the box. We'll go ahead and put the box away and talk about the gun. Okay, so if I had to kind of summarize my first impressions of this this gun in a single word, it would be hopeful. Let me explain why. There's just a few differences between this firearm and the P365. I own the original P365. It's been reviewed here on Through My Lens. Go check it out. There's a link in the description box. But I'll go ahead and put the original P365 right there, and we'll kind of highlight some of the differences between the two models. And I'll explain why I bought the XL. So the main differences are the length of the grip. The grip on the 365 XL is longer to accommodate a larger magazine. This comes stock with two 12-round magazines. There are 15-round magazines available. I have a couple on order, and maybe when I do a proper review, I'll include my impressions on the 15-round magazine. But it does come with two 12-round magazines, can accommodate a 15-round, whereas the old P365 used 10 and 12-round magazines. The 15-rounders should function in this grip module as well. So the grip length is different. The slide length is different. The XL has a longer slide than the original 365. It also has a nice beaver tail on the back, which the original 365 does not. And the trigger is different. The P365 came with a curved trigger, whereas the XL comes with a flat trigger. Flat trigger versus curved, I don't have a preference either way. I've used curved triggers for a lot longer than I have flat triggers. I do use a flat trigger on my competition weapon, a SIG P320X5. I don't have a problem with flat trigger. I don't have a problem with a curved or flat. It comes down to personal preference in my personal opinion. But that is a difference between the two. And then the other big difference, and one of the big reasons why I went after the XL, is this this rear sight that is removable, much like the X5. The X5 is designed very similarly. You can see that this is kind of a panel where the rear sight is. There are screws on the inside of this slide that can be removed to lift this out, leaving a cavity where a proprietary SIG Sauer red dot optic can be mounted onto the XL. It will be called, or is called, the SIG Romeo Zero. It's not on the market yet. It's expected out very soon, probably within the next couple weeks, before the end of July, so I'm told. And I will want to get a hold of one of those. I use the P365 as a summer carry gun. And I probably use it more than just the summertime, because really any time that I need to go somewhere quickly and I don't have time to put a gun belt on and a holster and put my regular SIG P320 compact on, I will just grab this. This stays on my nightstand in this pocket holster. I can slip it inside my pocket. And this particular one is called a sticky holster, and it's designed to stay in your pocket when you draw the weapon. And it's easy. It really increases the frequency of which that I do conceal carry, which is great. The best gun is always the gun that you have with you, and I tend to have no excuse to not grab a gun with me when I'm on my way out the door. It's also great if just walking the dog, or maybe going for a run or something and I want something lighter weight. It works out well in that regard. So I really do like pocket carrying on certain occasions. Do it a lot, again, in the summertime when I'm wearing shorts. The hope is that I will be able to pocket carry this with the Romeo Zero mounted, because I really do prefer an optic over irons. Although I shoot an iron, an iron-sighted weapon just fine. I'm very comfortable with the big SIG P365 with iron sights, and again, shoot it quite well. But I do prefer an optic, and I'm just curious to see if this will work in a pocket carry situation. As it stands, as it is, it's pretty big. I can pocket carry the XL without an optic, and I think with some slight adjustments, I will be able to pocket carry it with the Romeo Zero. Let me explain. As I mentioned before, these two guns are pretty identical, other than the differences in their measurements in this beaver tail. In fact, and I tried this, you can actually swap the slides and grips. They're completely interchangeable. My thought is that the 365 XL, if I put the optic on it today and tried to pocket carry it like this, it would probably be a little bit too big. The width or the distance with the optic mounted, which if you kind of can pretend the optic is there, the distance between there and there is probably going to be uncomfortable in my pocket. But if you put the grip from the regular P365 onto the slide of the XL, you will have the reduced grip, and I think that it will be able to slip into my pocket just fine in that configuration. And that's what I'm hopeful about. I think it's going to work. I think what I want to try to do, or the configuration that I want to be able to use it in, will work. Other than that, the gun's great. It's a P365. The P365 is probably the best choice for concealed carry that's hit the market. The trigger's great. It functions extraordinarily reliably. I've never had any problem in the 1,000 or so rounds that I've shot mine. I haven't really torture tested it, obviously, but I've not experienced any problems, and I did. Again, there's an article on the Through My Lens website with a test of many different ammunition types that I ran through it, and it functioned fantastically. So no problems there. So it's just a bigger 365, so it's good to go from that perspective. I don't really necessarily need a bigger 365. That's really not why I'm attracted to the gun. I'm attracted to the notion of being able to mount an optic on it and be able to pocket carry it that way. So I'm not certain it's going to work. I am going to buy a Romeo Zero and give it a try. But those are my first impressions. Again, I'm going to be doing more testing, taking the range, put a lot of rounds through it, see how it fires compared to the P365. I'm expecting that it will be perhaps a bit more comfortable to fire. I may be a little bit more accurate with the slightly longer sight radius on it. We'll see. We'll see how it fares in more in-depth testing beyond just this first impressions. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Take care. God bless. And again, remember, let me know in the comments what you think about this video, and see if you want me to do more of this type of thing. I hope you've enjoyed this production from the Through My Lens YouTube channel. If you did, please click on the like button and do share the video on social media. If you'd like to see more content like it, please do subscribe to the channel, follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and do check out Through My Lens at www.throughmylens.org.